Well, good Wednesday morning, everyone. We're meeting Jim Dobbs, our newest pastor on staff at Saddleback Laguna Woods. We left off in just like in the middle of the story, how you had lost your job and
Yeah.
where were you going with that? How God answered and directed your path.
Well, interesting. Sometimes God uses the most interesting and ways of getting your attention. So, we were involved in church and all of that. And the agency that I worked for sold and they closed the doors. And all of a sudden I was confronted. I'd never lost a job before. And I was like, what am I going to do? And it's a moment of transparency. I kind of panicked. I looked at my circumstances and said, oh my gosh, I have a mortgage. I've got a wife and two kids, and I'm the breadwinner. And what am I going to do? And I remember not really trusting God in that moment for provision. And I remember distinctly, I was standing in line. We'd gone for a walk, and I'm standing in line at a local McDonald's that was only about a half mile from my house. And my daughter, Kylie, and we had gone for an ice cream. And I was in line, and we paid for ice cream, got an ice cream cup. And I remember she was like four. I had mentioned like she was 4 or 5, and we sat down to eat that ice cream cone, and she said, "Daddy," she goes, "I have an idea for you for a job." And I said, "You do?" Because I was out of work, right? And she said, "You could work here at McDonald's, and Mommy and I and Cameron can walk down and see you every day." And and I was kind of like, well, yeah, at McDonald's, that's an opportunity, that's a possibility maybe at some point. Because I wasn't landing a job. And my daughter, and this is the importance of that foundation that you talked about with Vacation Bible School and church. She looked up at me with these eyes and said, "Daddy, Jesus says he'll provide for you and will provide for us." So here's this small child ministering to me. And I remember having a jolt moment of like, man, I have not been trusting God in this moment. And it really changed my perspective. So I would say that was, and and when we talk about answer to prayer, we were praying a lot for a new job. But I don't know how much I was trusting God in it for his provision. And
And so what happened, Jim?
yeah, so it changed my perspective. I like repented and confessed that to God that I wasn't trusting him. And I did it with my family. We changed how we were praying, and we were giving thanks for what he was going to do. And God provided a company came along, total cold call almost to me. They reached out to me, and they're like, "Hey, we would love to meet with you." And I was in the agency world, advertising agency, and this was an in-house. They wanted me to come in and start a department. And I can look back now and look at my steps along how God prepared me for roles that I've had, and that was a big one. That was a big one for me.
That is such a spiritual lesson. I've had very similar things happen to me where God, despite my lack of faith
Mm.
at a time, which I'm actually, we're having an issue like
Yeah.
similar to that in our extended family right now with my daughter and son-in-law.
Mm.
And we keep encouraging each other that God is in control. That's been our experience. It's what his word says.
Yeah.
So let's believe it.
Yeah.
And friends, if you're watching today and there's something that you've been praying about for a long time, don't give up. Keep
Mm.
praying,
Right.
and God is going to answer your prayer. So,
Right.
hey, Jim, tell us about your kids and
Yeah.
stuff.
I've got two kids, Kylie and Cameron. They are now adults, and my daughter is 36. She's married and to a pastor, and they're in Tennessee now. Moved just about a year ago, and took our 4 grandkids with them, which is horrible.
That that's the
Talk about
way.
answered. We're praying for answered prayer that maybe they come back.
Yeah.
Uh, and then I have a son, Cameron, who is 35. They're only about 16 months apart in age, and he's a geologist, married to a beautiful, lovely young lady, Kimberly, and they live here in Mission Viejo, close by. So we see them very often, and no kids yet. They have a dog that's part of their family, but no kids. So we're hopeful in that too, that they'll have some kids coming along here. And then Teresa, my wife, we've been married 39 years. This next year will be 40 for us, and we've been through it thick and thin. My best friend, and she also works. She works for the city of Mission Viejo, or Mission Viejo and Lake Forest, and does like low interest loans, HUD loans for people to fix up their homes, and
Oh,
she loves it. So
yeah. Yeah. That's a great family, and he also, so his daughter and uh husband Kyle was the pastor at Saddleback Anaheim for a good number of years. I don't remember how many,
I think
but
7, yeah.
but he did such a great job,
Mhm.
and they ministered together, I'm positive. And then he got taken from us by a church in Tennessee. Kyle was just my in the campus pastor world. He
Mhm.
was like one of my favorites, if not my favorite, just a great guy. So I'm happy for your daughter
Yes,
because
yeah,
she has a great husband, and who I happen to know pretty well.
yeah, yeah.
So, but you ended up at Saddleback. Tell a couple of the things that you've had different roles at Saddleback.
Yeah, I came in Saddleback in 2002, so I've been there 23 years, and I actually came in to do what I mentioned already, which was start a communications team. That was my whole background before I came to Saddleback, and I came in and we were became in charge of websites and printing and design and writing and all anything that was related to us getting the word out to who we were, and very involved in Purpose Driven Life, which was the famous book written by Pastor Rick Warren, and I actually got to little fact I got to design the cover of that book, the original cover for that, um, which was a total privilege in my life to do. So when you talk about other jobs, so I was 14, almost 15 years communications lead, and then God really put on my heart community outreach. So and really started the experience role that I'm in now, back at Lake Forest some years ago. And then I've had a few roles. During COVID, I was the evangelism pastor for the church. And then after that, I became the pastor of disaster. That's the fun name. It was disaster relief. I did that for a couple of years, post COVID. And then the last role I was in before coming to Laguna Woods was I was a care pastor on our pastoral care team, involved with leading the grief ministry and premarital. Those are kind of interesting combinations. And then mental health. I'm very involved in the mental health community as
Well,
well.
Jim, we're so excited that then in the sovereignty of God, He has brought you to Laguna Woods so that we can minister together for the next period of time. So thank you. Well, we're going to dig a little bit more spiritually oriented tomorrow. So I sure hope that you will be able to join us. See you tomorrow.
It is well, it is well with my soul.